Hey everyone, how's it going? So today we're going to quick put a new bottom bracket on my truck Domane SL5. It's a 2020 year model, has about 10,000 miles on it, so we figure it's a good thing to quick do. It's a Praxis Shimano T47 bottom bracket. We'll give this hats off to Trek. I was able to look up my bike on their website, and if you go down to the specs, and it lists all the parts, components that your bike was spec'd with, and I was able to click on the bottom bracket, and boom, it brought up a page to buy a replacement off of Trek's website. Super handy, super easy, great to have, easy to do. It retails for $52.99. I did have to buy this blue part here. It's the Park Tool BBT 47-12, because yeah, it's a T47 bottom bracket, and it has 12 notches going around it. That part was $27.95. So all in all, it's pretty cheap to do it on yourself, as long as you already have a giant torque wrench. Because the standard Park torque wrench does not go high enough. It wants 40 Newton meters, which is pretty damn high. This one only goes to 14. Okay, we need to get our cranks off so we can get to our bottom bracket. This is just a standard 5mm bolt, nothing too fancy. Once you get your two bolts off, you'll use this little doohickey to get that doohickey of a cap off. And this little bugger is just hand tight. Alright, you got that cap off. Now you just need to get your crank arm off. There. It's tough to get it to pull just straight off, so just some light gentle taps with a dead blow or a rubber mallet will get that off for you. Drive side should just slide on out. So yeah, there you go. Your cranks and chain rings are off. Okay, I'm using a regular old socket because it's a little bit easier than using the giant torque wrench. Knocking off the non-drive side. And it is your standard righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. The other side, it's opposite. It's got about 3 miles worth of threads, so it takes a little while. Alright, got that plastic sleeve in there. That just pops right on out. Alright, and it looks like this one here was just grease. When you look at the directions, it tells you to either grease or do Loctite. And it doesn't really specify one or the other, so I'm just doing what my bike already had. And that is definitely grease and not Loctite. So that's what we'll be replacing it with. Oh man, that guy's on there. Trying to. Thank you. Got my lovely assistant helping. Oh. So this one, the drive side was really on there, so I had to use my impact gun, and that broke it free right away. Ended up just laying the bike down on its side, and yeah, got it free. So now just doing that mile-long thread to get it out of there. And yeah, the drive side is reverse threaded, so righty-loosey. Alright, we got us free. Oh, and there's my shipped cable. Oh, nice. Alright, yeah, we'll get this cleaned out because there's some grit and everything in there. And we'll get the new bottom bracket put on. Okay, so we got our new bottom bracket here. And as you can hopefully see here, that says RH cup, so your right hand cup, your drive side, and to tighten it, it is counterclockwise, lefty tighty, righty loosey. And then on the flip side, it says left hand, non-drive side, and it's the regular righty tighty, lefty loosey. So yeah, just kind of handy to help you keep them. Looks like they actually have some sort of like a thread locker kind of put on there as well, already pre-installed. But I got it greased up, so yeah, let's get that guy in. Alright, time travel. As you can see, it is much later in the future from when I started this project. Yeah, I was editing the video and I realized I never did an end for it, and when I was putting everything back together, the camera was just staring at my ass. It wasn't much to see. But putting it back together is the same as taking it apart. Really easy. Anybody can do it. If you can turn a wrench, you can do this. Tools that you just needed were a 5mm Allen wrench. Everyone should have one of those. This T47-12 from Park Tools. Definitely need this for doing this job. And then a big torque wrench. If you don't have one, check out your local O'Reilly's if you have one. O'Reilly's does rent out tools. I've used them before when doing work on my truck, like changing out a wheel bearing. Usually you have to buy something for them to loan you a tool, so maybe if you buy an air freshener, throw them an extra $5 or a 6-pack, they'll let you borrow their big torque wrench if they got one. But yeah, it was pretty easy to do. The hardest thing though was just when you're starting. If this will focus at all for you, this part here, it's really narrow, this flange. So that cup part, or cup tool, was really tough for it to get any type of purchase when you're starting and trying to get it unthreaded. That was the hardest part, was just trying to get some purchase on that. For the drive side, I did use my driver, my DeWalt driver there. It worked perfect. I just had to make sure that I had it in the opposite direction, righty-loosey, and yeah, it popped right off. To do that, I laid it on the floor on some carpet so I could push down on it and really make sure that it had some good purchase and didn't want to jump all over and mar up this, or mar up the tool, or mar up the frame. Didn't want to damage the paint. But yeah, really easy job. It took me, with filming, half hour, 45 minutes. If I did it just straight, I could probably do it in under a half hour. But yeah, easy to do. With Trek's website, how it's laid out, how I showed you, really easy to find the replacement parts. Something that anybody can do as long as you have the right tools for it. And so yeah, there you go. Changing out a bottom bracket on a Trek Domane. Super easy. So anyways folks, remember, we're all in this together and I'm pulling for you. Thanks and have a good one.